What's up, YouTube? This your boy Bigboyfactsjonny, and today I'm gonna do my Aew Road Rager review and highlights you guys to do. Hit that like button, helps YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel, follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch down below in the description. And let's get started. Now, Aew Road Rager was a good show because I'm so happy that it was a good show. But you guys see the title of the thumbnail. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, we're kicking things off with a South Beach strap match. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall. This was a solid match to kick off the show. This was a solid match. The referee Paul Turner is trying to get the strap on each wrestler. QT Marshall rolls out of the ring, and Cody Rhodes is frustrated and hits a top suicide. Cody then gets Marshall back in the ring. The match begins with both men getting a few strikes until Cody hits a quick power slam. Cody Rhodes begins hitting Marshall with the strap on the back. Rhodes touches the first three ropes and then gets hit by an arrow solo. Dustin Rhodes makes his way out and goes right for solo. Dustin Rhodes gets some strikes and began chasing solo. Nick Kamaroto begins going after them also. Marshall hits Rhodes with a low blow using the strap. They both begin tagging the corners again. Marshall is busted open. The lights go off and the announcers tell the viewers that they have had weather issues in Miami. QT hits Rhodes with a backbreaker and then starts choking Rhodes. Rhodes gets away, then starts choking out Marshall. Rhodes goes for the Hurricanrana. However, Marshall counters it into a powerbomb. Marshall is back up and begins going to each turnbuckle. Marshall has Rhodes on the top rope and hits the diamond cutter. Marshall touches three of the four top turnbuckles. Marshall begins hitting Rhodes with the strap, and Cody tells him to bring it. Rhodes gets a ton of momentum and goes for the Cody cutter and hits it. Cody hits three of the four turnbuckles. Marshall stops him, and Marshall spits on Cody, and Rhodes hits Marshall with the three crossroads. Rhodes then touches all four of the turnbuckles and gets the win. The winner of the match, Cody Rhodes. This was a solid match to kick off the show. After the match, we get a promo from Shawn Spears, and he tells viewers that he is done with Sammy Guevara. And all of a sudden, a chair comes flying through and hits Shawn Spears in the head. Sammy Guevara tells Spears he's not done with him. You know what? Tony Schiavone is in the ring to interview Aew World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega, and Don Callis is with him. Don Callis takes the microphone away from Tony Schiavone and tells him to go to the corner and be the Tommy Bahama model that he wants to be. The crowd begins chanting at Don Callis that he got fired, which is above leaving Impact Wrestling. Don Callis tells the crowd that they get to see the best wrestler in the world. Don Callis says that nobody is left for Omega. The crowd starts chanting, "We want Hangman." The Dark Order music goes off, and Evil Uno comes out and asks Kenny Omega why he is ignoring the crowd. He also asks Omega why he is afraid of his friend Hangman. The crowd begins chanting, "Cowboy, you know what?" Omega asks Uno what's the capital of Thailand, and then he low blows Uno. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson and Michael Nakazawa begin attacking the Dark Order. Hangman Adam Page makes the save and clears the ring. He then gets in the face of Kenny Omega and then have words. Kenny Omega leaves with Hangman is distracted. Jim Ross has a sit down with Ethan Page and Darby Allin. He tells both men that he is disgusted with them because they want to end their careers. Darby Allin says it took him 1 year to get and took Page 12 years. Darby Allin tells him that he gave up everything to be in AEW and it's not his fault that Page left to stay home. get married, and have kids. Ethan Page says he's not wrong, but he made Darby Allin, and that Darby Allin is nothing without Ethan Page. So we get the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle. Proud and Powerful and Jake Hager. This was fine for what it was. The match begins with Santana and Dax Harwood throwing punches at each other. Harwood sends Santana to the corner, and Santana comes back with a big clothesline and a big German suplex. Santana tags in Ortiz. Ortiz hits Dax with a Northern Lights suplex. Dax tags in Cash. Wheeler comes in and hits Ortiz with a big European uppercut. Waller is tagged in, and he takes multiple shots at Ortiz, and then tags Dax back in. Ortiz hits Hardwood with the Liga Bomb. Hager is tagged in, and he clears the ring. We have our first picture-in-picture commercial break. The Pinnacle is now controlling the match, with Waller and FTR exchanging multiple tags and staying on top of Santana. Santana hits Cash Wheeler with a big cutter, and Santana gets to Ortiz for the hot tag. Wheeler gets hit by Hager with a big body slam. Ortiz goes for the pin. However, Waller breaks up the pin. Now the Pinnacle is triple teaming up on Ortiz. Ortiz is back up and hits Cash Wheeler with a spine buster. Ortiz makes it to Hager for the tag, and soon Waller is in after Hager tells Dax he wants Hager. Hager and Waller throw multiple strikes at each other. Hager has Waller in the ankle lock, and FTR makes the save. FTR hits the big rig on Hager and then pin him to get the win. Conan gets in the ring and hits Waller in the back, and before Waller gets him, Tully Blanchard takes the leg out of Conan, and the Pinnacle leaves the ring. The winner of the match, the Pinnacle. Okay, we get a promo. Machine Gun Carl Anderson challenged the IWGP US Champion Jon Moxley on next week's AEW Dynamite. They now MJF and Chris Jericho sit down showdown. The crowd is singing, and during the singing, a fan jumps in the ring, and after he is taken out, MJF says that he dares any fat bastard to come out and fight him. MJF insults Jericho, and the crowd starts chanting Y2J. And he stops the crowd and says that Y2J died a long time ago, but he should have let that fat bastard beat his you-know-what. Jericho says that he will do whatever it takes to get in the ring with MJF, and even if that means he has to sleep with MJF's mom again. MJF says that his challenge is to go through 4 matches, with MJF picking the stipulation for each match. Jericho tells MJF that he is the god of war. Jericho signs the contract and throws it at MJF, and MJF stops Jericho and tells him that a deal is not made, handshake is done. Jericho obliges and shakes the hand of MJF. MJF tries to let go of Jericho, however, Jericho hits him with the Judas effect, and we go to a commercial break. They go to a backstage segment with Dr. Britt Baker, and she is mad that she had to wrestle when she didn't want to. She tells Tony Khan that she had made him millions. She then takes some shots at Nyla Rose, and she says that you can have your blood money. Maybe run a show next week in Saudi Arabia. So we get Matt Sydal versus Andrade Adillo. Andrade looks good tonight. Andrade looked good tonight on AEW. So this was pretty good. The match begins with a tie of both men reverse holds. Andrade hits Sydal with a twisted backbreaker. Andrade goes for the moonsault. Press and miss, but then hits won immediately. Now Sydal gets some offense and takes down Andrade with multiple shots and moonsault press of his own. We go to another picture-in-picture commercial break. During the commercial break, Andrade is in complete control. First, Andrade goes for a big running knee. However, he missed, and now he and Sydal exchange multiple strikes and pin attempts. First, Andrade hit Matt Sydal with a big lariat. Andrade goes for the diving foot stomp but miss. Next, Andrade hits Sydal with a big diving knee into the corner. Finally, Andrade ends it by hitting his finisher and then gets the pin. After the match, he restrains Matt Sydal and ties him up for a submission hold. He then leaves the ring and hugs Vicky Guerrero. The winner of the match, Andrade El Idolo. So we get a promo talking about the history of Matt Hardy and Christian Cage for next week's night 1 of Fyter Fest. Tony Schiavone is in the ring with Arn Anderson to cut a promo. Unfortunately, the light goes out right away and it's Malakai Black, WWE Aleister Black / Tommy End. He takes out both Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes with 2 huge roundhouse kicks. I was so hyped to see Malakai Black. I was so excited to see him on AEW. Alright, anyway, they come back to do a recap of what just happened with Malakai Black. We go to a promo recorded earlier with Ricky Starks talking about his new security, and Taz tells him that it is embarrassing and that he needs to knock it off. Starks then takes some shots at Brian Cage's wife. Cage comes out, takes out Starks' new security guards. So we get a mixed tag team match. Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander versus the Blade and the Bundy. This was a decent mixed tag team match. Decent. Before the match begins, Orange Cassidy asks the referee Aubrey Edwards to check the Blade for brass knuckles. She finds them and the Blade is upset. The Blade gets in the face of Orange Cassidy. The match begins with the Blade gets some strikes until Cassidy hits some Slumdog Millionaire. Next, Cassidy tags in Chris Statlander, and now she and the Bunny are legal competitors. The Bunny takes a shot at the back of the head of Statlander after Statlander is distracted by the Blade. Then we have another picture-in-picture commercial break with the Bunny in control of hitting a swinging neck breaker. We come back from the break and Chris Statlander slams down the Bunny and goes for the pin, but only a 2 count. The Blade hits Cassidy with the brass knuckles. He goes back to hand the Bunny the brass knuckles. Chris Statlander reaches Cassidy and tags herself in. She hits the Blade with the aerial 450 splash. She follows that up by hitting the Bunny with the Big Bang Theory and then pinning the Bunny to get the win. The winner of the match, Orange Cassidy and Chris Statlander. This was a decent mixed tag team match. Dan Lambert of America Top Team has the microphone, talks about how wrestling has sucked since the late 90s and talk about Florida Champion Wrestling. He keeps cutting a promo and cutting down AEW and their fans. Finally, Lance Archer comes out and takes him out. It's time for the main event. So we get the AEW Tag Team World Championships. Eddie Kingston and Penta El-Zero versus the Young Bucks. This was really good. I enjoyed this main event. The Young Bucks in the ring and streamers goes off. The bell rings and Eddie Kingston hits Nick Jackson with a trash can. The action goes to the outside the ring. Michael Nakazawa holds back Kingston and Penta. The Young Bucks goes for a super kick, but both super kick on both Penta and Kingston, but they dug and hit Nakazawa. The action goes back to the ring. Kingston holds down Nick Jackson and Penta jumps on the groin area. Kingston and Penta grab 2 tables. Penta hits Matt Jackson with a destroyer, and they go through a table. Nick Jackson hits a running powerbomb on Kingston. Kingston lands on a table that was laying on the canvas and not set up. They go to their last picture-in-picture commercial break with the Young Bucks in control. The Young Bucks are destroying Eddie Kingston and throwing him around. Nick Jackson beats down Kingston with a trash can. Nick hits a senton. He goes for the pin, but Kingston kicks out. Penta comes in and hits Matt and Nick Jackson with sling blades. Kingston hits the half and half on Matt Jackson. Kingston has Matt Jackson in a rear naked choke hold. Nick hits a 450 splash on the referee, Rick Knox, to break the hold. The referee is down. Matt taps, but the referee is out. The Good Brothers come out and attack Eddie Kingston, and they go for the fear factor and hits it. Kingston goes for the pin. Another referee comes out and he does the count, but he gets pulled out of the ring. Frankie Kazarian comes out and puts Brandon Cutler through a table. The Good Brothers hit the Kazarian with the Magic Killer. Kingston Kingston empties a bag of thumbtacks, and both teams avoid the thumbtacks until Penta is hit with a hurricane and land on them thumbtacks. The Young Bucks then shove some thumbtacks into the mouth of Eddie Kingston, and Matt super kicks Kingston and gets the pin. The Young Bucks gets the victory and retain. The winners and still your AEW Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. And AEW Road Rager goes out there. Like I said earlier, AEW Road Rager was a good show. I enjoyed it for what it was. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my AEW Road Rager review and highlights, please give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll leave my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch down below in the description. You guys have a great night. Stay safe, stay strong, and always stay positive. And I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later, and I'm out of here, and I will premiere this video on my channel.